What sparks a knockdown, drag-out mud fight between dynasties Linda and Joan? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
What new treatment can free you from migraine's pain? This week's National Enquirer tells you. Has life-saving surgery threatened this star's Dallas career? How can you handle rejection?
It's in the Enquirer.
The Miami Vice stars, their childhood secrets are revealed exclusively in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
Tired of seeing the same old videos slapped together? Only on Night Flight can you see takeoffs to the latest trends in today's music. Fantastic feature films, video profiles, new sounds, heavy metal heroes, directions in jazz, reggae sunsplash, Mr. Bill, film and video gallery, video vault, and off the wall. Night Flight. Where would your weekend be without it? It's Night Flight, all night. At 11 p.m. Eastern on USA, Friday and Saturday. On the next cover story. Singer Patti LaBelle talks about an overnight success story that was 21 years in the making.
Had I done it 10 years ago, I might not have treated it the way I'm treating it now.
And where she's headed.
I want to become, like I said, a household word. Maybe it's really happening now.
Patti LaBelle on the next cover story at 7:30 Eastern on USA Saturday. This is the USA Network.
My dear Raven, will you please sit down and relax? Pacing back and forth like a caged tigress is not going to bring the maid back into this house.
Well, I just can't believe that Bobby Gerard. She quits her job. She's only been here 2 days. She leaves town. I mean, it's insulting.
Perhaps she got a better offer.
No job could be better than working here.
Then maybe she just couldn't deal with the histrionics in this house.
Oh, the girl ran away because she was caught red-handed stealing my watch. She realized that the stories that she was telling about having it repaired weren't going to work, and she took off. That's all there is to it.
Well, I think there's more to it than just this big fuss over a stupid old watch.
That stupid old watch, as you call it, has been in this family for years.
Sorry.
Actually, I don't suppose it has very much intrinsic value. Oh, perhaps it would bring maybe $2,000 from a dedicated collector, but no more, really.
Oh, she's an ignorant child, Geraldine. She probably thought she'd get $10,000 for it. You really know how to pick them, don't you?
Don't bring that up again. Forget it.
Where's Spencer?
I don't know. I think he went to put the car away. Calvin Stoner.
Mrs. Whitney?
Come in.
Thank you. Forgive the intrusion, Mr. Whitney, Mrs. Saxon.
There is just no getting away from the people in your department, is there, Detective? Would you like to tell me what the attraction my house has for the members of your department? I can't even spend a quiet night here alone without one of you scratching at my door.
Scarlett, please. Mr. Stoner is a guest here.
An uninvited guest, Geraldine.
Please forgive the intrusion. I'll only take up a few moments of your time. I called earlier and asked to speak to Bobby Gerard. I was informed that she is no longer in your employ and has indeed left town. Is that true?
Yes, I'm sorry to say it is true, but I don't understand why the police would be interested.
Maybe it has to do with the missing...
I don't believe we're going to need your help, Detective Stoner. Thanks all the same.
I'm sorry to be so insistent about this matter. Actually, it's not official business. It's more of a personal matter.
Well, you know, Detective, I couldn't care less about your personal matters.
Mr. Whitney, it is important that I speak to Bobby Gerard. I was hoping that you might give me some assistance.
Oh, well, I don't see any way in which that would be possible.
Scarlett, please. I see no reason for such calculated rudeness. Mr. Stoner, Bobby Gerard left this note. Now, I'm sure there's very little in here that we haven't told you already, but I see no harm in reading it for yourself.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Saxon. Well, it certainly is Bobby's handwriting. I've seen it a dozen times at Sid's Tavern. So it's true. She really has left town.
Cliff, you know, you have been very pensive ever since you got that phone call.
I don't understand this. There's something very funny going on here. Look at the facts.
Which are?
Bobby Gerard was so excited when she knew she could prove that Skylar Whitney had 2 antique watches. She had such high hopes. She was sure she could prove her suspicions. Why would she suddenly quit her job and leave Monticello?
You know, you're right. It really doesn't make sense.
She would do anything for Gavin Wiley. She's proven that over and over again. She's even willing to risk her own neck. That's why she took the job over at the Whitney Mansion, so she could find out the truth about that watch.
Well, you certainly can't fault her loyalty.
That's my point. She loved Gavin Wiley. Why should she leave him now? Vanished, gone. Without even a trace, not even talking to her good friends.
You know, if...
Jody, come on, join us.
Hi, Jody.
Hi, Dee.
Kitty?
Hi, would you like to order something?
No, thanks. I'm not really hungry.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So, let me guess. You two were conferring about Gavin's case, right?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes,
No.
we were.
Cliff, it's all right, really. I keep trying not to think about it, but it's impossible.
This must be very hard on you. I'm sorry.
Maybe what you need is a little diversion. How about a movie?
Yeah.
No, guys, I've tried that. Can't even remember the title, you know? All I know is right in the middle of the story, I realized I didn't know what was going on, so I left. What a waste. Didn't even get to eat the popcorn. I'm sorry, I'm depressing you.
Oh, no. It's nothing to do with you at all, Jody.
Then what is it? It's Gavin. It's something about the case, right?
Jody, it's about Bobby Gerard.
Bobby? What about her?
Bobby told Gavin that she was sure she had a way to prove that Sky Whitney had 2 antique watches.
But that's wonderful.
Jody, we just heard that Bobby's gone.
Are you telling me she's gone? Just like that? Vanished?
She quit her job at the Whitneys and left town.
Wait a second. Bobby goes to see Gavin a few hours ago, and she tells him she can help him, and then she leaves Monticello?
It's true.
No, it doesn't make sense.
I know, that's just what Cliff and I were discussing.
Do you think there's some kind of a connection?
We're not sure. We don't know.
Well, then we should try to find out. Look, Cliff, I think the police should know everything about this. Pig!
Mitzi, when you hit a fellow actor, make sure you don't use the heel of your hand, okay? You gotta keep your fingers spread and loose. And then when you hit him on the chin line and by the neck, so it just stings. It doesn't really hurt him, but it looks really good from the front, okay?
Okay. You want me to try it again?
No, that's all right. Why don't you try a feint now? Mitzi? Here, it's kind of hard to talk to you in a horizontal position.
How was I?
That's great. Except if you did that 8 times a week in a play, you'd have to marry an orthopedic surgeon.
I don't even know one.
I know a med student. Here, let me show you how this goes.
Okay.
First you break at the knees, and then you go down, and then you turn slightly. You make one big slow motion. Now, you have to do it faster than that, of course, but you can practice that at night.
Well, yeah, I
At
will.
home.
I'll go home and I'll faint all night.
Well, I get some sleep in between the feints, all right? Okay, Val, Kelly, let's get you in this process. How'd you like to do a scene?
Oh, no, not me.
Oh, come on, Kelly. It's a place to show your ability. Theatrically, anyway. Val, is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Great.
I think it'll be fun just to try.
Oh, come on, Jim. You gotta be kidding. I can't say that. Look, all I know about is the supervision of a production of a kid show on television. This character's some kind of Lothario. No, I'm sorry, it's just not me. No, I can't.
Kelly, you can play in Italian. I mean, you used to live there.
Come on, Kelly. Here, just start here on page 20 and go to the end of the scene. It's just a few pages, and it's not all that complicated. It's just a simple love scene.
Well, of course, if you're afraid, Kelly, I guess that's different.
I'm not afraid. You're on.
All right.
Great. Okay, this will be the park bench. Now, I just want you to feel very free. Just stand up, walk around, do whatever you want. Follow your impulses,
Do it.
All right, these are two kids that have met in a park, and they just had an argument, and they just made up. Okay? So that's pretty much the scene. So just enjoy yourselves. We'll start here on your speech. I sure don't know why. Okay?
I sure don't know why. Okay.
Start when you're ready.
Look, I sure don't know why you asked me to meet you here, Jenny, if all you want to do is argue. You could have argued at home with your old man.
About what?
About me, that's what. Well, he doesn't like me. That's painfully obvious.
Well, then you could say my father is a man of taste. Well, anyway, Philip, your mother doesn't like me either.
Well, then you could say that my mother is a woman of taste.
Philip Sloan, that was a dreadful thing to say.
Look, let's stop this, Jenny.
Well, I will if you will.
Let's, declare an armistice. Let's make a pact, and for the next 5 minutes, promise to say and do what we really feel. The absolute truth. No less.
Well, I promise. You go first.
Okay. I love being in your company, darling. And I'm truly sorry if I made you angry. You're beautiful, you're adorable, you're appealing. And I love you with all my heart.
Oh, you guys are wonderful.
Very good. Very good for the first cold reading. But Kelly, you could have filled it out a little bit more.
Like how?
Well, you could have brought more sincerity to that last speech and a little bit more energy to that last action.
Well, show me.
Oh, no. I don't like to show actors how to or give them line readings. I'd rather have them discover it for themselves.
Well, maybe he'll understand better if you demonstrate, Jim.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'll just do the last speech then. Okay? I love being in your company, darling. I'm truly sorry if I made you angry. You're beautiful and adorable and appealing, and I love you with all my heart.
Jim Lang keeps contestants on target for top dollars in a test of skill and strategy on Bullseye at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on USA weekdays.
P.S. I love you.
Progresso Soup, I love you, for your minestrone.
I love you for your chicken noodle, the best tasting soup.
This side of my soup.
P.S. Progresso Soup, I love you.
It's a time of cool winds and warm homecomings. When thoughts turn to things homemade, like the home-baked goodness that comes from Duncan Hines butter recipe cakes. Only Duncan Hines has the blend of ingredients that mix with your fresh, creamy butter to make a moist cake so rich and delicious. Every moist, buttery taste says Duncan Hines. A taste you'd travel a long way to come home to. Butter recipe cakes from Duncan Hines. It's our moist, delicious way to bake your best.
Our Duncan Hines frostings are so smooth and creamy, everyone takes swipes at us.
Hey, Rosie.
Hi, Swingers. How was the big dance?
Oh, beats not me. Want to dance, Rosie?
Oh, good, a new step.
Get something quick.
I've got something quicker. Bounty. It gets spills before they get away. That was fast. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Shuffle over here. See how much faster Bounty soaks up liquid? The other towel pushes it along and lets it get away.
Bounty's quicker, all right.
And tough. Watch this. Now, even with cleanser, you can scrub with Bounty.
Look at that. Bounty is tough.
And fast. Always a quick step ahead. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Get spills before they get away.
A high-suspense chase takes Fred McMurray and Claire Trevor from L.A. all the way to the borderline as Hollywood Heartthrobs Week continues. At noon Eastern tomorrow.
Some of them have talent, some of them 5:30 Eastern on USA weekdays.
It seems to me that I have spent the entire evening trying to calm you down. First Raven, and now you, Skylar. Between the two of you, you'll wear out the carpet by midnight.
It has been a very disturbing evening. First Bobby leaves, then Calvin Stoner arrives.
Calvin Stoner was just looking for some information. It seemed perfectly harmless to me.
No, it wasn't harmless, Geraldine, not with that police crew involved. When they start snooping around, there's trouble, even if they have to create it themselves.
Oh, Skylar, that's an exaggeration.
No, it isn't, Geraldine. Not with Derek Mallory's police force. Now, I don't want to give them any more reason for bothering this family. I've seen quite enough of them in the recent past already.
I think you should just relax and have a little scotch and forget about it.
I don't want to relax and have a little scotch. And the only thing I want to forget about is Bobby, our ex-maid, and my old pocket watch.
You want to forget about the watch? Well, thanks a lot. That's a real nice way to treat my wedding present to you.
Well, let me remind you that you got it from Geraldine.
Ingrate.
Now, please, will you stop bickering? In the final sum of things, I'm afraid I'm going to side with Skylar on this. I think it's best not to have the police involved. Hanging around here trying to track down that poor girl. No, I have the feeling that she's in enough trouble already.
Uh-huh. See, reasonable, practical, intelligent, and Geraldine.
Bobby finds out something that might help Gavin, then for no apparent reason, she writes a letter of resignation to the Whitneys, quits her job, and leaves town. Why? Why would she leave town without letting anybody know?
Nobody has a tougher position than a pro defensive back, and nobody sweats more.
But I don't shower with deodorant soap, because I made a break from that stuff. A clean break with Ivory.
Look, what you see is basic natural soap.
And what you get is an honest clean. Some soaps cover you with smelly perfumes or deodorants. That stuff doesn't get you clean. Ivory makes me feel clean and smell clean. That's an honest clean.
Make a clean break with Ivory. No soap can get you cleaner, no matter who you're up against.
These are the amazing Lee press-on nails. They press on in seconds. No glue, no mess. Simply press on Lee Super Stick tabs. Then press on Lee press-on nails. That's all. Easy on, easy off. Use them again and again. They just won't break or split. Polish, and they're nearly impossible to chip. So press on Lee press-on nails. In natural and glamour lengths and a variety of sizes for a quick, easy fit. Press on.
It's important to me to be in control, and I want control over my IRA, to move in and out of my investments as I think best. That's why I have my IRA at Charles Schwab, the discount broker. At Schwab, I can move freely from one investment to another. I can buy stocks, zero-coupon bonds, or I can move my money into a money market fund or mutual funds. I can buy what I think looks good and sell what I don't want. I like knowing I can switch investments at any time, as often as I like, and never pay a penalty. In fact, the Charles Schwab IRA doesn't have any fees. No setup, no maintenance, no penalty fees. I'd recommend the Charles Schwab IRA.
Call now for a free booklet about the many benefits of a Charles Schwab IRA. Call toll-free 800-228-5300. That's 800-228-5300.
Well, I guess I can't do much about it tonight. I might as well go home. Oh, Tyler's private line. Yeah, Stoner.
This is Damien.
Wow, well, how nice of you to call. I want you to know we're being recorded, so watch your language. You make any contact yet?
Yeah, I'm having drinks with Mr. Lorimer right now.
Oh, what's it like in high society?
Oh, very, very gracious. Why, we're old buddies already.
Oh, what fun.
Yeah, well, Mr. Lorimer asked me to call one of his old girlfriends and ask her to bring over another young lady so we could have a foursome for the evening.
Really? Double dating already, and only recently met, too.
Yeah, well, he was a little bit too sloshed to make the call himself, so he asked me to call for him. I thought maybe I'd use the opportunity to get in touch with you.
Sloshed?
Yeah. Well, you might say he has a low tolerance.
Sounds like you're having a pretty good time.
Well, hey, I have to make Eddie my pal, otherwise how am I going to get him to talk to me? Look, Calvin, I'm going to try and stay in touch, okay?
Okay. Hey, listen, you fly low and slow here.
Well, you know me.
How we doing, Eddie? Hey, Earl, my buddy. Hey, did you get the girls? Did you talk to them? They're gonna make it?
Sure, it's all set.
Ah, terrific, terrific. And I drink a lot of scotch in my day, but this has got to be some good booze. Hey, listen, why don't we sit have one more? Come on, before we go.
Yeah, well, look, Eddie, the girls are on their way up there, so I think we better take a...
Yeah? Yeah, okay? You want to go? Hey, it's okay with me. It's okay with you?
Sure, come on.
All right, come on. Let me leave this guy $3 here. I'm all right. Listen, I want to tell you something. Sure. You and me, we're going to be good buddies. Okay?
I sure hope so, Eddie. I hope so.
Good. We're going to have a good time. Come on, let's go to the party.
All right.
We'll see you Friday. Take care, huh? So long.
The way to go home. Tired, and I want to go to bed. Stoner. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Come in and sit down, Chief. Would you like a nightcap?
Yeah, I'd love one. Thank you.
Do you like brandy?
Great.
Well, I certainly must admit that I had a wonderful time this evening.
Did you? I'm glad you said that. So did I.
You know, I've never spent any time with anyone even remotely like you. A police chief of all things.
Well, I assure you that I'm not much different from anybody else. And sometimes I even get to go out with women as attractive as you.
Oh. Well, I usually go out with show people. Actors mostly. They're a very rare breed, I must admit.
So I must be very dull after them.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, you're not very flamboyant, but, well, in a peculiar way, it makes you a lot more endearing.
I've never been called that before.
I think it must be because you have to maintain that cool exterior because of your profession. Well, I don't know how you do that.
It becomes habit.
Well, for me, I need all the tenderness that I can get.
Well, I think in that respect, we're very much alike. Come on, tell me about yourself. I read your dossier. You wrote down that you were an orphan.
Well, I'm afraid that total honesty is not one of my strong points, or haven't you noticed?
No, I've noticed that. I've noticed. So what does that mean? You do have some family?
Sort of. I have a father somewhere. Very rich one, too. When my mother died 15 years ago, he got married again, very quickly. And, the woman that he married didn't want to have anything to do with the old family ties, including me. So they shipped me off to a boarding school. And, then he divorced her and remarried another woman, much younger. However, he neglected to tell the third wife that he had a daughter about the same age.
I can see where that might cause some problems.
A few. I really don't like to think about him. In fact, I'd just as soon forget that he's alive. Because he's forgotten me.
Come on. It's all right.
Chief Mallory, You better be careful with that tenderness stuff. 'Cause I'm a real sucker for it.
When towels feel this soft, sheets feel this fresh, and there's no cling to most anything. You've got bounce clothes, clothes you can't wait to jump into. Feel the touch, jump in. You are the one. You feel so good around me. Jump, 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 jump. You could use this or even this, but bounce is the softener more people use, and they feel like this about their clothes. Some soft sweaters, sweet-smelling linens, no cling thing. Jump, feel the touch. Jump in, bounce for clothes you can't wait to jump in. Jump, jump, jump.
What sparks a knockdown, drag-out mud fight between Dynasty's Linda and Joan? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
What new treatment can free you from migraines pain? This week's National Enquirer tells you. Has life-saving surgery threatened this star's Dallas career? How can you handle rejection?
It's in the Enquirer.
The Miami Vice stars, their childhood secrets are revealed exclusively in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
When you're king of the hill, everybody is always looking to knock you down. Last year's NCAA defending champions, the Villanova Wildcats, will be caged in with a hostile New York crowd when the St. John's Redmen square off with the Wildcats in a Big East battle extraordinaire. Then, Utah tips off against Notre Dame in a USA College Basketball 86 doubleheader live Wednesday night.
This week on TNT, we'll see Hillbilly Jim, Cousin Luke, B. Brian Blair, along with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Discover the secrets of the animal kingdom on the Wild Wild World of Animals. Weekdays.
Tatum O'Neal, Christy McNichol,
Do you care about me a little?
Matt Dillon, Little Darlings, a USA premiere event. Sunday.
I'm so tired. I think we should follow Jardine's advice and go to bed.
Oh, I'm not tired yet.
And I also think you're wrong. I mean, if you think that Bobby Gerard stole your watch and ran away to avoid the consequences, I think you should tell the police.
I sure as hell won't do that.
Maybe I will.
Oh, really? Oh, the hopes maybe of seeing your beefcake detective Tyler friend? Well, I've got news for you. You won't run into him. He's been suspended indefinitely.
Well, then maybe I'll tell Calvin Stoner. Or maybe even Derek Mallory.
You'll do nothing of the kind. You'll do as I say, you understand that?
All right.
The subject is closed.
The subject is closed. I don't know what I'm going to do now, though. I have to hire a new maid.
Jinx, thank you for a very nice evening.
I don't really know how you can say that after the breakdown.
You've got to let those things out sometimes.
Well, I want to thank you for your permissiveness because, well, I don't usually lose control like that. And, well, you know how we actresses are, always disciplined.
Yeah, I know. Cops are supposed to be disciplined, too.
Hello. Yeah, he's here. Just a second. It's for you.
I'm sorry. I always have to leave the phone number wherever I go. Chief Mallory.
It's Stoner, Chief. Look, I'm sorry to track you down like this, but I've got something I think you want to know about now.
Well, what is it?
I'm in the morgue. They just brought in the body of Bobby Gerard. Chief, she's been murdered.
just a minute, you're going to find out how you can get this terrific alarm clock telephone absolutely free. So stay where you are, then I'll be right back to tell you more.
When you read Time each week, you know more. You understand.
Time flies, and you are there. Time cries, and lets you care. You understand the world we share.
Now Time is offering you more than ever. Order Time right now, and you'll get this terrific alarm clock and push-button telephone in one, free with your paid subscription.
Yes, time brings you closer to living. Time puts events in sharp review.
Any more grief around here. I'm sitting here thinking about Bobby and what she did.
Well, I still don't think that she's the thief Skylar thought she was.
Well, she's gone, and so is his beautiful watch, the watch I gave him, or I should say you gave me to give to him, but nevertheless, the watch is gone, and I'm afraid so is Bobby Gerard.
Hold tight, Sid.
Oh, dear God.
Of course, I recognized her, but the police have to have a civilian identification.
Poor Bobby. My poor Bob.
Excuse me, Mrs. Whitney. I just wanted you to know that I returned and that Mr. Whitney and I dropped by the employment office as we went downtown. He asked me to tell you not to worry anymore about the domestic situation. Everything will be taken care of.
I'm delighted to hear it.
Has he hired anyone as yet, Spencer?
I don't think so, Mrs. Saxon. I believe the agency people are going to work on it now.
Did you get that, Spencer?
Yes. The Whitney residence? I'm sorry, would you repeat that, please?
I said, as Detective Calvin Stoner, is Mr. or Mrs. Whitney at home?
It's someone from the police department, Mrs. Whitney.
Is it Mr. Tyler?
No, a Detective Stoner.
Oh. Hello, Calvin. What can I do for you? Another policeman's ball.
Not so happy an occasion, I'm afraid. Look, Raven, would it be okay if I stopped over and spoke with you this morning?
For what reason?
Well, I need to speak with you about your former employee, Bobby Gerard.
So you know?
Know what?
Well, what did you want to speak to me about?
Raven, Bobby's dead. Somebody bashed her in the head and dumped her in the woods last night.
Oh, my God.
Raven, what is it?
Of course you can come over. I don't believe it. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. My God, she's dead.
You surely don't mean Bobby.
Yes, Bobby. They just found her body. Skylar is going to be so upset he didn't even want them to know that she took the watch. But now it's sort of inevitable that we have to tell them, isn't it? Herself at that place she was working.
It's called Sid's Tavern.
Yeah, well, anyway, I mean, it was just impulsive. I was at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I see.
Calvin, can't you tell us what happened? Why was that girl so brutally murdered?
That's precisely what we're trying to determine, Mrs. Saxon.
Well, we certainly know nothing about it.
Well, you must know something about Bobby. I mean, after all, she worked here.
Just one day, Detective. That's all. In my opinion, one day too much.
Oh? Now, what does that mean?
I'm sorry, it's not my place to say.
Oh, no. Please don't stand on ceremony, Mr. Boney. I mean, this is police business. Now, what do you think was so bad about Bobby Gerard's working here?
She was a thief.
Excuse me, but that has not been proven as yet.
I found her the very first day she came here in Mr. Whitney's bedroom examining a watch of his.
A watch?
Yes, she dropped it when she saw me, broke it.
That does not mean that she was trying to steal it, Spencer. Perhaps she was just looking at it.
Oh, wait a second. Is this the antique pocket watch that plays the little tune?
Yes, that's right. And then she was caught walking out the door with it, trying to get it repaired.
That was her story, at least.
I, for one, believe it.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time any of you actually saw Bobby Gerard?
I think I was the last one to see her in this house.
Oh, what time was that?
At 1:30 yesterday afternoon. She'd been in here making phone calls.
Oh? Do you know to whom?
Yes, I do. She was trying to call a jeweler, the place where Skylar bought this watch.
Why?
Because Skylar had had his watch repaired there once before, and I wanted to get it repaired before he came back.
Did you tell Bobby to go to the jeweler with the watch?
No, I didn't. I was going to go myself, but I don't know. I forgot, and I went to the beauty parlor, and I was there all day, and I was exhausted.
Wait a minute now. Where's the watch now? Does your husband have it?
No, it's gone.
Gone. You implying that Bobby took it?
Look, my husband really doesn't want me to talk about it.
Why not?
Because he doesn't want to make a fuss about it.
Oh, I see. Well, that is very nice of him. By the way, may I have the note that Bobby left?
Yes, sir. Can't you give us any further information at all?
Mr. Saxon, all we know is somebody took Bobby out into the woods and hit her over the head with what we presume to be a tire iron.
Good Lord.
May I ask about the watch, Detective? Was it found on the body?
No, there was no watch found.
Well, then it was a robbery. I mean, that's a perfect explanation. Watch. It was the only present that I gave to my husband for the wedding, and it was in your family for years and years, and I feel terrible about it.
Well, there's very little you can do about it now, my dear.
I just thought of something. You know, I've been going crazy trying to think of a Christmas present for Skylar. Well, how about a beautiful old watch to take the place of the one that he lost?
That sounds like a very good idea.
It's a wonderful idea. Now all I need is that list that Bobby made of all the antique dealers.
Perhaps she didn't make a list.
No, I know she made a list. I was sitting here with her when she did it. We wanted to find the name of the dealer where Skylar had his watch fixed.
Ah. Well, here's something. There's a name circled there. I can't see it without my glasses.
Hoffman Antique Jewelers. That must be it. I think that I shall go pay a little visit to this jewelry store this morning.
She was so sweet and so young. What kind of world is this when someone so young is murdered?
I don't know, baby. It always seems like it's the young that get killed. They fight the wars, don't they? Old people die in peace.
Bobby wasn't in a war.
Maybe she has been all her life. Jody, I just saw her yesterday. She came here with the watch that we were looking for in the Whitney mansion. She was sure that there are two watches.
Gavin, we have to tell the police everything that Bobby told you.
I've already told Cliff everything. He said he's going to talk to Calvin.
Listen, do you think that there's a possibility there's some kind of connection?
I don't know, Jody.
Well, I mean, Bobby was on the way to the jeweler's, wasn't she? I mean, the man that she thinks had sold Sky the other watch.
That's what she said.
Maybe she never made it there. Maybe it all happened before she arrived.
I've been going nuts trying to remember the name of that place.
Then she did tell you the name.
Yeah, I just can't remember.
Hoffman, that's right. Primrose Avenue, right off Route 25. Yes, I'll be open during lunch. I always eat my lunch right here in Hoffman's Antique Jewelry Shop and Restaurant.
I see. I would like to know if you have any antique gold watches.
One of the finest lines in the city. Just yesterday, I received a beautiful old repeater from Brussels.
Do you have any with music box movements?
Well, that sort of thing is very rare. I had a couple, but they're gone.
Well, tell you what, I'll just come and look. By the way, my name is Mrs. Whitney.
Whitney? Ah, yes. Your husband must be quite a collector.
I beg your pardon?
Primrose Avenue, the second building from the corner.
Well, all right, look, I'll be there in an hour. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Collector? Of what?
I have the car out front, Mrs. Whitney.
Good. Spencer, it's a secret where I'm going, okay?
A secret?
Oh, don't worry. It's not a rendezvous or anything. I mean, I'm just going to get a Christmas present for my husband.
Oh, I understand.
Get that, will you, Spencer?
Yes, ma'am. Whitney residence.
Yeah, this is Mr. Whitney, Spencer. I'm still at my attorney's office, but I don't think I'm going to be here much longer. They've bled me for just about every drop of blood that they can. So why don't you pick me up in, about a half hour or so?
Mrs. Whitney just asked me to drive her someplace, sir. Shall I call her to the phone? Maybe we can pick you up.
Oh, she's going shopping, huh?
I believe so, sir.
Well, no, listen, she just dragged me into every shop in town. Why don't you just take her where she wants to go and I'll call a cab?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Spencer.
Yes?
I was speaking with Mrs. Saxon earlier, and she told me that Detective Stoner had stopped by with the terrible news about Bobby.
Yes, sir, he was here.
Well, that really is quite a shock. Have there been any other calls from the police?
No, sir, nothing at all.
Oh, well, that's a relief. We've certainly had enough to do with the police of late. Listen, I'll give you a call if I need you, Spencer.
Very good, sir.
Death was caused by a severe blow to the head. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that, huh?
Well, actually, there was more than one blow. Looked like 3, but any one of them could have done it. Either her killer was a sadist, or he wanted to be absolutely sure of Bobby Gerard's death.
I'll tell you what I think. I think this was some kind of a crude execution.
Well, you know more about those things than I do. I wouldn't say it was any kind of a gangland execution.
No, a professional wouldn't have been this messy. And you think the murder weapon may have been a tire iron, huh?
Well, the wounds indicated it was a sharp-edged object, almost certainly metal. That was just a logical guess.
I think you're right on the money. I got back this lab analysis of particles taken from her scalp. They seem to agree with you, so apparently her assailant just drove her out to the spot, just did it right down there.
And without a struggle. There were no other signs, no other bruises, contusions, no broken fingernails, nothing else.
Hit from behind, she probably had no idea what was going to happen.
Hit from behind, that's what the wounds indicated, yes.
Well, maybe it's more merciful that way.
Certainly was easier for the killer.
You know, she knew some pretty rough characters. When I checked out her background during the time that she was helping Gavin Wiley escape, I found that out.
That's right, I remember.
One of them paid her a visit then, Matt Sharkey. Maybe another one paid her a visit this time.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, thanks for the report. I don't want to hold you up.
Well, I certainly wish it hadn't been necessary.
Oh, wait a second, Miles. I did think of something I wanted to tell you. I went out with a patient of yours last night.
Patient of mine?
Jinx.
Well, how'd that happen?
Well, I suppose I must have made it happen. I called her up to thank her for the bottle of champagne she had sent me.
Ah, yes. That champagne.
And one thing led to another. I asked her out to dinner.
I see.
Had a good time. She's a bright lady.
Yeah, that's what I thought myself. Look, did she tell you anything about herself?
She did say that she wasn't as alone in the world as she had pretended to be before. Her father's alive.
Why didn't she tell me that?
Well, she can be a bit contrary.
More than a bit, I think. What did she tell you about him?
That he was very wealthy. They didn't get along, and she hasn't spoken to him in years.
She tell you any other secrets about herself?
No. Well, she said something I didn't understand. She said I could thank Nicole for that bottle of champagne. What do you think that meant?
I have no idea, Darryl.
Yes.
Miss Avery, it's Sherman Harris.
Who?
Harris from Eaton Furs.
Oh, of course, Mr. Harris. I didn't recognize you without the fur.
Well, I hope you remember the coat you bought from us.
Yes, of course. In fact, I was just getting ready to put it on and go to lunch.
Miss Avery, I don't like to bother you, but, well, it's an expensive coat.
Yes, and I adore it. I have trouble taking it off when I get home. I may start wearing it to bed.
Miss Avery, your father, you told us we could charge it to your father's account.
Still open, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's open, but, see, it hasn't been used in some time, and, Mr. Wainwright, who owns Eden Furs, suggested I call your father and, well, just to make sure.
To make sure of what, Mr. Harris? That he's still alive, still solvent, or maybe that I'm really his daughter.
I called him for authorization. No offense intended.
I have a feeling you're going to become much more offensive, aren't you?
He wouldn't authorize it, Miss Avery. I'm sorry.
Well, I think there's been a mistake.
No. No, he won't pay for it. And so I'm afraid we're going to have the coat back.
Well, you're going to have to call him again, Mr. Harris, because there's obviously been a misunderstanding. Now, you'll excuse me.
Look, Miss Avery, I'm just a salesman. I don't own the shop. Now, I'm going to lose my job if I don't go back with that coat.
And I'm going to be late for my lunch date if I don't leave right now. Now, I can't go out there into that cold, cold day without a coat, can I? Close the door behind you.
What? Miss Avery. Miss Avery.
Horrible about Bobby. But listen to me, we don't really need the watch for proof. You're not going to be convicted. The jury will understand you did what you had to do for me.
Oh, yeah. They'll love me for it. All the world loves a lover, even when he commits murder.
It wasn't murder, it was self-defense.
Right. I defended myself by shooting an unarmed man from 10 feet away. That is what I'm supposed to say, isn't it?
You're just supposed to say
The truth. That was the next word, wasn't it? Well, the truth is no good anymore. Not according to my urban cowboy lawyer. No, just a good, solid story. Thanks, Gary. I got here as soon as I could. Hi, Joe. I just came from Calvin's office. He promises a full and complete investigation of Bobby Gerard's death.
Cliff, did you tell him everything I mean about the watch and what Bobby told Gavin?
I told him everything. He wants to talk to you personally, but he's interested. He's very interested. Is that all? For Pete's sake, Cliff, the watch may be the reason Bobby was killed.
Kevin, do you really think so?
Look, if Sky Whitney had anything at all to do with this murder, Calvin will find out. He already went out and talked to the Whitneys.
And?
Well, he said that Bobby quit her job and left town.
No, that's a lie. When I saw Bobby, she was on her way to that jeweler's.
But, Gavin, she left a note.
What?
He found a note in Bobby Gerard's handwriting saying she was quitting her job and leaving Monticello.
I don't believe that.
The police have a theory that she ran into an old boyfriend, they ran off together, and suddenly he became an old enemy.
That's crazy, Cliff. The only old boyfriend Bobby ever mentioned was Sharky. We all know what happened to him. I don't buy that story, and I don't buy the story about the note.
I saw the note.
It's a fake, Cliff. A forgery.
No, it's genuine. They checked it out carefully. It's Bobby's handwriting, fingerprints, everything. Bobby Gerard wrote that note.
I've submitted several to Geraldine for discussion. I put them in the mail to you, too.
Oh, well, I haven't received it yet.
Oh, you should get them soon. Geraldine said that the first subject should be on the curse of the Whitney mansion.
Oh, poor Geraldine. She really didn't know what she was letting herself in for when she moved into that house.
So many awful things have happened in that place. It's incredible.
I know it. No wonder she calls it a curse.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anyone you know?
Slightly. I just hope she has enough money to pay for her meal this time.
Who is she?
It's Jinx Avery. She's seen me. Here's your chance to meet her.
Hello, Mrs. Kavanaugh. You're just the person I was looking for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let me introduce you to my friend Nancy Card. Nancy, this is Jinx Avery.
Hello. I'm sure this isn't a very good time to settle accounts, but I really wanted to repay you for the loan.
Oh, well, there's no hurry, really. Would you care to join us?
No, I shouldn't. Oh, well, yes, I'll have a drink, if you don't mind.
Well, I'll see if I can spot a waiter. They tend to make themselves very scarce just about now.
Oh, don't bother. I'm not in very much of a hurry. But I won't stay long. I'm sure that you two very powerful women have got lots of significant things to do this afternoon.
You're an actress, aren't you?
Well, I'm so glad you've heard of me. No, I'm just joking. Nobody's ever heard of me. But I've heard of you. You're with the Monticello News, aren't you? The intrepid lady reporter.
Oh, intrepid, a lady.
And a sense of humor, too.
Well, I'm not having much luck. I guess that's because all the waiters know we're finished.
Don't bother. I'll just, oh, look out, folks. Here comes trouble.
What?
Miss Avery, I'm begging. I can't go back to that shop without that coat. I just can't.
Mr.
I
Harris?
promised Mr. Wainwright.
Please don't make a scene.
What do I have to do, Miss Avery? Do I have to get down on my knees and beg you for my job in the middle of this restaurant?
What in the world is going on?
It's just a man looking for a handout. Here, sir. Take this.
Thank you, Miss Avery. Thank you.
What's happening here?
Oh, nothing much, Mrs. Carr. But if you'll excuse me, ladies, I really must leave.
There. I told you she was eccentric.
She's leaving without a... She's gonna freeze to death. Look, I'm gonna follow her. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to Fancy.
Anybody home? Hello? Well, this is really quite a coincidence meeting you here like this, Bobby, isn't it?
Not really. Your wife asked me to come down here.
Did she?
Yes, she wanted to have your watch fixed as soon as possible, so she asked me to find the name of the place where you bought her watch from.
Well, that was very thoughtful of her. And very thoughtful of you to go to all this trouble.
It's no trouble, really. I mean, it was my fault it got broken.
Tell me, did my wife come up with the name of this shop, or did you figure that out yourself?
No, I did. I just called all the antique jewelers in the book till I found Mr.
Oh, that's genius. You know, you really ought to be a police detective, not just a housemaid. May I have it?
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure it's fixed?
Yeah, it's working.
Did you hear the little tune that it plays? Pretty little tune, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Well, the least I can do to show my appreciation for all you've done for me is to offer your lift home. The car's right over here.
I don't think so.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Bobby. We're both going to the same place, aren't we?
Isn't Spencer...
No, as a matter of fact, Spencer isn't. It was such a lovely evening, I decided to drive myself.
Poor Bobby. And they found you so soon. So very, very soon. Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't leave any evidence. Oh, no, of that I'm sure. No evidence at all.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, and you must be Mrs. Whitney.
Yes, I am.
Even if I didn't know you were coming, I would know who you were.
Oh, yes, well, I do have my picture in the newspaper now and then.
No, I would have known you for this. I know all my little watches, even after they leave home.
Oh, yes, of course.
I remember the day your husband bought it for you. May I look at it for a moment?
Well, certainly. There you go. I suppose you also remember fixing my husband's watch the same day that he bought that.
Fixing? Yes. I remember fixing his watch, but not on that day.
Oh, no, I'm sure it was. He said that it was.
No, he's a little mixed up. If I fixed his watch on the day he bought this, I would remember it. There's one thing about me, Mrs. Whitney. I never forget a face.
No butler, no maid. Oh, it's you. Hello, Mr. Whitney. Well, I imagine I should feel flattered having the big chief of police come here to bother me with questions, but somehow I don't feel that way.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to bother you, but I do have a question or two.
Well, I thought it was Detective Stoner's case. I mean, you did want to talk about my ex-maid, Bobby, isn't that right?
Yeah, Stoner's the man, all right, only he's told me he's had some trouble getting a hold of you.
Well, excuse me, Chief, if I have got other things to do with my time than wait around for the police to bother me with questions.
You know, I got statements from everybody in this household. Except you?
Well, I imagine that I am the person in this household who knows the least about her. I mean, I didn't really know the girl. I didn't hire her. And, I probably only saw her twice when she was working for me. I don't know very much about her.
Well, maybe you could, just start off by telling me, when was the last of those two occasions?
Well, I imagine it was the morning that she decided to, leave. I left the house early that morning myself.
And didn't return until later that evening?
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I came back early in the afternoon. You can check that statement if you like.
It's all right, I already have.
Well, Chief, I don't know what else I can tell you. You see that I know so very little about it.
You do know that she took your watch?
Yes, unfortunately. However, there's not much I can do about that, especially considering that the man who murdered her probably has got the watch now. Oh, a bit of advice, Chief. If you really want to get this killer, I would suggest that you look for a man with a watch pocket in his vest.
So you don't have any that have a little music box, huh?
No, Mrs. Whitney, nothing. But here, this is the closest to the one I sold to your husband.
Well, it certainly looks similar, but I think you're wrong. You didn't sell it to him. See, I gave it to him.
I sold it to him with a music box movement. I even put his initials inside the case.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but you're mistaken. See, I gave it to him as a wedding gift.
No, I sold it. I have it right here in the record book. It was made by the same company that made this.
But why would he buy a second watch and not tell me?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I guess if he already has one, I better wait, huh?
Oh, well, I guess I lost that sale, didn't I? My wife told me I always talk too much.
I'm sorry, but, well, thank you anyway. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. At least I have the evening paper for free. Oh, murdered. Like her, the girl who was here with a pocket watch.